If you've been wondering when exactly your next pension payment is coming, or if you've heard whispers about secret bonus benefits being added this month, then you're in the right place. The truth is, August 2025 isn't just another ordinary month in the world of Australian pensions. Behind the routine payment schedules, there are some lesser-known updates, changes, and even quiet government rollouts that could put a bit more money into your account or affect how much you receive moving forward. And sadly, many seniors are completely unaware of what's shifting right beneath their feet. Right now, Services Australia and Centrelink have already finalised the official payment dates for this month's age pension, carer payment, and disability support pension. But what most people don't realise is that some of these dates have been slightly adjusted due to banking delays, public holidays in certain states, and system upgrades that are affecting processing times. If you're budgeting down to the dollar or relying on that payment to cover bills, knowing these exact dates can help you avoid financial stress. But it's not just about dates this time. There's also something quietly stirring in the form of supplementary benefits, temporary one-off boosts, rent assistance adjustments, and even energy bill relief that's now being automatically applied to eligible pensioners across multiple regions. The problem is, not everyone knows how these benefits are triggered or why some people are getting them while others aren't. In fact, many pensioners who should qualify for these bonuses are missing out entirely because of one overlooked requirement or update they didn't even know they had to complete. And as if that weren't enough, there's also ongoing discussion in Parliament this month about increasing the base pension rate before the next indexation in September. It's not official yet, but the proposals could significantly change what many seniors receive in the months ahead. So, what does all this mean for you? Stay with me, because I'm about to break down everything you need to know, from confirmed payment dates to the truth behind these secret bonus benefits, and what you need to do to make sure you don't get left behind in August 2025. Let's start with the most immediate concern on everyone's mind. When exactly will pension payments be hitting your account this month? August has brought a few timing quirks that are catching some seniors off guard. For many, especially those who receive their age pension on a fortnightly schedule, there's a tendency to assume it always comes like clockwork. But due to certain regional public holidays in early August, combined with routine Centrelink system maintenance over the previous weekend, some banks are processing payments slightly slower than usual. While Services Australia confirms that payment processing dates remain unchanged, the actual clearing into accounts can vary by up to 48 hours depending on your financial institution. So, if you're finding that your payment hasn't landed at the usual time this week, you're definitely not alone. And no, your payment hasn't been stopped or withheld. It's just a minor delay that should clear up within a day or two. Now, here's where things get a bit more interesting. Quietly rolled out over the past few weeks is what many are now calling the secret bonus benefit. But it's not quite as mysterious as the name implies. It's actually part of the broader energy bill relief package that the federal government announced earlier this year, which is now being distributed in staggered waves to eligible households, including pensioners. What's made it tricky is that not every eligible recipient gets a formal letter in advance. Instead, the rebates are being applied automatically through energy providers for those who receive the age pension, disability support pension, or carer payment and are already receiving concessions through their utility accounts. That means if you're eligible and your energy account is linked to your concession card or pensioner concession card, you may have already received the benefit without realizing it. Some seniors have reported seeing their electricity bill cut by anywhere from $250 to $500 without much fanfare. Others, especially those who live with family or in shared living arrangements, may have missed out because their name isn't the one listed on the energy account, even though they're the ones paying. This is where it gets tricky, because Centrelink doesn't directly manage how energy rebates are allocated. It's largely left up to the providers. So if you're not seeing that relief on your bill, it's worth calling your provider and asking them to link your concession to your account manually. It's a one-time phone call that could potentially save you hundreds. Meanwhile, there's been an important shift in how rent assistance is calculated that's also catching some people by surprise. From July 1, 2025, new maximum rates for Commonwealth rent assistance went into effect, and they are already being reflected in August payments. While these changes were meant to increase support for those in the private rental market, not all pensioners are feeling the impact equally. For instance, if you live in government-subsidized housing or in a facility where rent is structured differently, like a retirement village or residential park, you may not see any increase at all. But for those in the mainstream rental market, especially in cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane, where rents continue to climb, the small boost can help offset at least some of the rising cost of living. However, many are finding that unless they update their rent details with Centrelink, the system continues calculating assistance based on old data. On top of that, some pensioners have received unexpected letters this month about income or asset reassessments. This is part of a broader compliance check that Services Australia conducts each year to ensure that payments remain accurate. While the letters can look intimidating, often suggesting overpayments or the need to verify bank balances, they don't necessarily mean you've done anything wrong. In most cases, it's simply the system requesting confirmation of your current circumstances. The issue is that if you ignore or delay your response, your payments could be suspended. What's more, if there's been a change in your superannuation drawdowns, interest earnings, or even if you've received a small inheritance recently, it could impact your rate of payment. So, if you've been asked to complete an income or asset review, don't delay, because even small discrepancies can cause disruptions. Interestingly, this month has also seen the early rumblings of another possible change to pension indexation. As many of you know, pension rates in Australia are typically reviewed in March and September each year based on inflation and wages data. But there's growing pressure on the government to consider an additional emergency indexation due to the continued cost pressures on seniors. Advocacy groups like National Seniors Australia and the Combined Pensioners and Superannuation Association have been particularly vocal about how the current base rate of the age pension is not keeping up with essentials like groceries, utilities, and housing. While nothing is confirmed yet, several members of Parliament have openly discussed the possibility of a one-off top-up before September's official indexation to bridge the gap. If that proposal moves forward, and it has crossbench support, it could result in an extra lump sum being deposited as early as the end of this month or next. So, there's also an ongoing trial that might affect some seniors when it comes to how work affects pension entitlement. You might remember the work bonus scheme, which allows age pensioners to earn up to a certain amount from employment before it impacts their payment. In August, the government is quietly trialling an expansion to this scheme in regional areas and among certain professions, especially aged care and community support roles. The goal is to encourage seniors who are able and willing to work to help fill chronic labor shortages without immediately reducing their pension. If this trial proves successful, it could mean that future changes would allow all pensioners to earn more without penalty. That's a game changer for many who want to work part-time or seasonally to supplement their income, but fear losing their pension. If you're in one of the trial regions, you may already have been contacted. Speaking of Parliament, one of the other big items on the agenda is improving access to digital services for seniors. There's been a push to make Centrelink and Services Australia platforms more accessible, especially for older Australians who aren't confident using MyGov or mobile apps. In fact, the government is currently reviewing feedback from thousands of seniors who say they feel left out or overwhelmed by the move to online-only services. In response, there are plans to expand the role of Services Australia agents, those in-person service points in smaller communities, and provide phone-based support for more complex issues. This month's developments include proposals for longer call center hours and even a callback system where seniors can request a call from a Centrelink officer at a time that suits them. It's all part of a wider effort to reduce the frustration many older Australians feel when dealing with government services in the digital age. While all of this is unfolding, there's one more issue that's quietly affecting a subset of seniors, and it's not getting the attention it deserves: residency reviews for overseas travel. With international travel back in full swing, many pensioners are once again spending time abroad, visiting family, or simply enjoying retirement overseas. But what's caught some by surprise is that Services Australia is now enforcing stricter checks on how long you've been out of the country and whether you still qualify for full or partial pension rates. Under current rules, once you're outside Australia for more than 6 weeks, some supplements like the energy supplement or rent assistance can be reduced or paused. If you're overseas for longer than 26 weeks, your pension may be reduced to the outside Australia rate. This has led to a few unfortunate surprises for those who booked long trips without realizing the financial consequences. So, As August continues, it's becoming clear that this month is shaping up to be far more than just another date on the calendar for pensioners. It's a moment of change, adjustment, and opportunity, but only if you stay informed. Whether it's the timing of your payment, the chance to access hidden relief on your energy bill, or an opportunity to protect your pension while working or traveling, knowledge is truly power. And too often, that knowledge is buried in complicated letters, overlooked announcements, or quiet policy shifts that aren't clearly explained. That's exactly why it's more important than ever to stay updated. Double-check your Centrelink details, keep an eye on your MyGov messages, and reach out when something doesn't seem right. Many seniors feel like they're on their own when it comes to navigating these updates, but you're not alone. There are thousands of Australians asking the same questions, dealing with the same systems, and facing the same frustrations. And with a bit of guidance and attention to the details, it's absolutely possible to make sure you're not only getting what you're entitled to, but maybe even a little bit more. So before you move on from this video, take a moment to reflect on what might apply to your situation. Have you updated your rent details? Have you checked whether your concession is linked to your energy bill? Are you planning a trip overseas or picking up a bit of part-time work? These decisions, even the small ones, can make a real difference to your monthly income. And with all the changes coming through this August, there's no better time than now to take action.